Yo, 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 yo. We're here with Nick.
Yeah, how's it going, guys?
Yo, what is up? What is up? Nick, I met Nick actually. He had his, was it your McLaren?
Yeah,
Posted up in Valet, Brickell City Center. So we
yeah.
came and set what's up. And yeah, man, it's been a while since we've caught up. So yeah, what's new?
It's been
What's
a
new?
minute. Been good. So I've been actually back and forth in New Hampshire. I sell products on Amazon, and we opened up our warehouse up in New Hampshire. It's 14,000 square feet. I've even had to sleep in the warehouse. So there's a lot of times where I've slept in the warehouse, probably almost every day.
Right.
But just now I'm full time in Miami,
Yeah.
and I was just up there pretty much teaching the employees that sort of stuff. But,
Right on, right on. So you got a warehouse. And what exactly do you do?
Uh-huh. So I just resell products on Amazon, pretty much.
Okay.
So, I mean, the shoes that I'm wearing, Nike Air Force, you can buy them cheaper on websites, retail stores.
Right.
You can sell them at full price on Amazon.
Right.
And I do that at different categories, like your beauty products, shampoo, like anything.
Right on,
like,
right on.
anything.
And how'd you kind of get into that? How'd you get started?
Bro, I mean, I think just like a lot of entrepreneurs, I was tired as fuck of my job. Like, I hated it.
Yeah.
And so because of that, my friend was actually selling on Amazon a year and a half before I started.
Right.
So I told him, like, dude, I hate this job. I asked for promotion. They denied it. Like, I want to get the fuck out of here. And he pretty much told me, like, oh, why don't you just do what I do? And I'm like, can you tell me what you do? And he said that. Like, he doesn't create his own brand, his own listing. He would literally go to the stores and just buy products and then sell on Amazon.
Yeah.
And, like, that sounds fucking simple. And that's how
Right.
I started, yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool too. Is that Max that you're talking
Yeah,
about?
Max.
Yeah, that's
my
actually
business
pretty
partner.
cool.
Yeah.
And so you guys just started selling products on Amazon. Like, how'd you kind of like get capital to do that, or like,
Yeah.
you know?
School of hard knocks, bro. So, like, I knew about credit. That's one thing. I had really good credit. I knew how it worked and all that. So I only used $700 of my own cash.
Yeah.
I understood the concept. I got into like different Amazon groups. Like, I started learning from people, and I applied for a bunch of different business credit cards. So I applied for Chase, Capital One, Amex, and I got like 90,000 in business credit, 0% interest.
Right.
For at least 12 months. So from that, I just used that money to buy a bunch of products and just started flipping it pretty much.
And you started making cash right away, or how'd that work?
Yeah. Like my first week selling, I did 1,200 sales.
1200.
So yeah, the thing about Amazon is you sell the next day.
Right.
And you know how much money you're going to make before you buy the product. So I bought the product. I started doing FBM, which is you shipping it out to the customer yourself.
Yeah.
So I went to Dolphin Mall. It's like a mall here in Miami.
Yeah.
I went to Ross, and my first ever product was a Fila shoes.
Fila shoes.
And people make fun of Skechers, Filas, and but people buy it.
Of course, yeah. There's a market for it, right?
Yeah. So I bought Fila shoes, and the next day I sold.
Next day.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yo, the next day. And what'd you sell for? Did you make like $100, $50?
Yeah. I bought it at, where the fuck did I buy it? I think I bought it at Foot Locker. Foot Locker Champs.
Yeah.
And I use this software called SellerAmp, where you just scan barcodes.
Yeah.
So I scanned the shoe. I'm like, dude, there's no way. Like, this shoe's actually good. So I bought it.
Yeah.
And yeah, the next day, I bought it for $23. I sold it for like 64.
64. Okay,
Yeah.
Cool. So you were like, yo, this is
Yeah, I was
lit.
like, yo, this shit sold.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what?
I just made in an hour what I would make, in
Yeah.
So that's what's up. And then that's when you were like, all right, cool, this is what I'm going to do. And then you started ramping up, kind of like buying different products. Now, any time did you just have inventory sitting? Because you said that you had the inventory that you were buying and then shipping it out.
Yeah.
How was that process?
So I started off doing FBM. Like, I would ship it out to customers myself.
Yeah.
But literally, I only did that for like a week and a half. Because I understood FBA is better. You get to sell more volume.
Yeah.
So I would go to the stores and I would ship it out to Amazon.
Yeah.
Amazon would then ship it out to the customers for me. But then I also got really good at finding online websites.
Right.
Because you could, there's coupon codes, flash sales going on.
Of course.
So I became really good at finding products on online websites.
Yeah.
And I was prepping it myself. So this was like a pain in the ass because I had a decent amount of capital.
Right.
But for you to ship it out to Amazon, you have to prepare it. You have to like
get the boxes, all that.
Everything, all that bullshit.
Yeah.
And like you have to do it. But then I learned about a prep center, a fulfillment center, which is what we own now.
Right.
Where you can ship it out to them or give it to them, like drop it off.
Yeah.
And they'll ship it out for you.
Okay.
So I partnered up with one, and that's how I was able to like scale up. Like,
and that was local here in Miami. So you guys had a local prep center here.
Mm-hmm. So when we would go to retail stores and buy products,
Right.
We would drop it off at a warehouse here in Miami. It's called iLogistics. I recommend them. They're pretty good.
Yeah.
And then when I would buy from websites, I would ship it out to a sales tax-free, a prep center in a sales tax-free state. So I partnered up with one in Montana because here in Florida we pay 7%.
Yeah.
But you avoid that. You make more money, you save money.
Right.
So I partnered up with one in Montana.
Okay.
And they would ship it out to Amazon.
Okay. And so these are two different streams of like, without selling, you would go and drop your product up there.
Yeah.
So they can. So when it does sell.
Yeah, you just have to have it like in an organized way. They have like this Google Sheet thing where you put like what product, the quantity, all that good stuff.
Right. That's actually pretty cool. And how long ago was this?
So I started last year, March.
Yeah. Oh wow. So you've been only at this for about a year and a half.
Yeah, year and a half, yeah.
And then when did that take you to get a McLaren? Like how long did it take you to start driving a McLaren?
So I actually got it in February this year. Okay. So less than a year.
Right, 11 months. Yeah, that's cool. And then now to the prep center, what was that scaling model look like? From going from just buying a product, shipping it out yourself, then to getting a local prep center. Then, now you guys own your own prep center.
Yeah, we have our own prep center.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. How did you guys get to that point with all in under a year? It takes businesses a long time to scale at that magnitude.
I would say it's all edge in the market. You have to have some sort of advantage.
Right.
Like if you don't, then it's going to take you what it normally takes. But my advantage was having good credit, having decent capital, understanding the business model. What a lot of entrepreneurs I see is there's a lot of stuff going on where like you can make money different ways.
Of course.
Like don't get me wrong, I'm doing that right now. Like I sell products on Amazon and I have a prep center.
Right.
Those are two different things. Yeah. But in the beginning, I only focused on one. I only focused on Amazon, and then I didn't even care about my job. Like sometimes I would look for products at my job. So when you give all your attention to one business and you have an edge in the market, like more capital, more understanding, more time, because time is also a resource. People undervalue time. Then you're able to just like literally smoke your competition.
Of course.
And then when you're in a niche or an industry where you have there's a saying like the people that's made the most money in the gold rush are the people that sold shovels.
Right.
So when you're a competitor, you're looking for gold, right? You're digging for gold. I'm selling on Amazon, but then you also want to sell shovels.
Right.
So if you're a really good competitor, you get to network with like other competitors, and then when you want to, end up like wanting to do a third-party service, everyone knows you in the community.
Of course.
So when you open up that business that's relevant to everybody, which is a fulfillment prep center, like a lot of people use that. It's very easy to get your foot in the door because it's natural. It's not like out of nowhere, like, hey, I'm teaching people how to trade stocks.
Right, of course.
Like, what the fuck?
That
has nothing to do with what you're doing.
Right.
So because of that, I had an edge in the market.
Right.
I was able to do a prep center and, just building it up right now.
So how are you guys actually sourcing leads right now for your prep center? Because I'm sure like it's a complete different business model, right? Although it's helping the businesses, it's B2B now rather than B2C.
Yeah.
So how are you guys generating leads for that?
So what's dope is that I have 4 years of B2B sales experience.
Okay.
So I worked at 2 different companies doing B2B sales. One was Comcast. So I was selling telecommunication services to different businesses.
Right.
And then the other one was Kaseya. So I was selling IT software.
Oh,
so I understood that, I understood sales.
Right.
So I know how to like book a meeting and then talk to the person.
Right.
Which a lot of people like Amazon sellers, they don't. Like they're buying from websites.
Right. They're on the computer all day.
Yeah. Right. That and I understood also like email marketing, like other stuff, pretty much like calling and all that.
Right, cold calling. So you were actually in sales before this. So that's kind of what like I tend to notice a lot of salespeople, they start in sales and then they expand onto different things and build great things, right? So you would say sales has a big part to do to helping you in your journey?
I would say so, man. The thing about me is I always knew that having a job sales was like a vehicle for me to just work there, learn. Actually, I took a pay cut. So I was working at Comcast. My first year I did 104K. And then the next year I was making like I was 20, and I was in my head I'm like, this is pretty good money for like 20 years old, but I always wanted to start a software company. Right. I'm like, the best way to learn is like literally working in a software company. Of course. And then selling the software and then seeing how everything operates.
Yes.
So I think a lot of people talk a lot of shit about like working a job. Yeah. Which, don't get me wrong, like if you think you want to do that forever, then that's different. But working a job at the moment isn't bad.
Right.
As long as you have a mindset that you want to do something greater, maybe move up and like be an exec, own equity, then that's different. But you're pretty much getting paid to learn how to build a business. Of course. So sales, I think it's a really good vehicle to do that.
Right on. Now, what was that journey like, taking a pay cut, right? Because, I mean, that like going from making, let's say, 100,000 to then dropping down to 50 to 75K. I mean, that could be a big difference, especially because we start to maintain lifestyles with our salary, right? Like, you know, if I'm making 100,000, 200,000, I'm spending like I have 100,000, 200,000. You know, but when you take a pay cut, you have to sacrifice some of the lifestyle expenses that you're at, right? So what was that like in that journey, and kind of like your process on that?
Yeah. So for me, I would say it wasn't bad because I was honestly a cheap fuck. Like I have like car and like a nice apartment, whatever. Yeah. But I was always very conservative, like the way I spent money. Of course. Like from 18 to 21, I never went out once. Like, because to me it's like, in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna spend $20. Like now I don't give a fuck. I'll spend $200 to get in the door. But in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna spend $20 when I don't have like assets. I don't have like anything to back it up. I'm like, dude, I'm staying home. I'm staying home and I'm YouTubing. So from 18 to 21, I didn't spend any money. I actually, I saved up money. I was able to finance a house at 20. At 21. So for me, like when I took that pay cut, it was like whatever. Like I didn't really feel it. Like I was driving a Honda Civic and living with my mom in my house. We were paying a mortgage that was like super cheap.
Right. And how old are you now?
I'm 24.
24. So this is about 3 years ago. And so when you finally decided to leave that job and start the business, I mean, some businesses see early success and they start to win right away. Some other businesses take a while to get off the ground, right? For you, it sounded like it was kind of like a good trajectory, right? Like you kind of just started seeing wins. But I'm sure as any business owner, you face challenges, right? Yes. You saw some losses and wins. Can you talk about some of the challenges that you faced during during that process of starting a business?
So I first want to talk about because you just brought it up right now, like the trajectory. Yeah. So my shit like low key blew up like super fast. Right. So like second month I did 64K in sales. Wow. In that month. Yeah. So it was because of the amount of capital and like that understanding. Yeah. But what happened like 2 months later, so one of the biggest challenges is when I was working with different prep centers. Right. So the last prep center, and this is the reason why we started our own prep center, because a lot of them suck. Right. Like they're really bad. They don't sell on e-com. They don't know your point of view.
They're just fulfillment.
Yeah, they're just trying to fulfill your shit.
Yeah.
Make money off of it. So with one prep center, I gave them my inventory. It was like $38,000 worth of inventory. They left it in the back for a month. So they just forgot about it. And honestly though, that's another mistake on my end. Because during that time I was partying. In my head, I'm like, dude, I'm making good bread. Like finally quit my job. So I'm out there partying. So I'm distracted from my business. So like the challenge, like psychologically, finally seeing good wins. Right. Yeah. Finally making your dreams accomplished. Come true. So that's gonna deter you from looking at your business. Right. So that was a challenge. Then the prep center, that was a big loss. Another one is when so one way we lower prices from products and websites is through discounted gift cards. And you could actually Google it, like gift cards for Adidas, let's say. Right. And then you get like 10% off, 5% off from the gift cards. Right. So what I did is I bought $14,000 worth of Under Armour gift cards. And I bought $14,000 worth of items on Under Armour. Right. But all the orders got canceled. So I was stuck with $14,000 worth of gift cards. So because of that, I had two things. Either I could sell the gift cards at a loss or go to the retail store. I went to the retail store and I spent everything like with the gift cards I had. Yeah. The products were whatever. Right. And what ended up happening was I took it all to the prep center, I dropped it off, and they said like 90% of everything I bought I can't sell. So I had to go to the prep center, pick it up, and return it to the store. And then returning it to the store took like 2 months because they wanted everything organized in receipts. And all that BS.
Yeah, it's $14,000 worth of inventory.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, dude, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
So that was really bad.
Right.
I lost a lot of time and money on that one.
Right. Now, as a business owner, time and money are probably some of the biggest assets you have.
Yeah.
So how did you navigate that challenge, right? Obviously now you have capital tied up here. It's not selling. You could have used that capital to reinvest into other products or other goods that could be selling. What was that challenge and how did you maneuver through it?
Yeah. So one thing that I was able to do is when you're selling on Amazon, you can get an Amazon loan.
Yeah.
So what I do with Amazon loans, usually, I don't immediately grab it and buy products. Actually, you should. So I'm tripping. I do grab it. I grab it. And, yeah, I'm tripping. I grab it and I buy products with it.
Yeah.
But when I make that money, I get that money back, and I pay down my cards. Because the thing about credit is for you to get credit cards, you have to have low utilization.
Of course.
Low balance.
Yeah.
So I use that cash, pay down my cards, and then I apply for more 0% interest cards. So then I have, more money to use. I get to leverage more money using credit, all that.
Right.
So when I had my money tied up, I actually did that, and I was able to take more money out.
Yeah.
Free up my money. One thing I also did is, I told my mom about my business. And she was like, yeah, of course I want to help you. We're from Ecuador. I'm from Ecuador.
Right.
First generation U.S. citizen.
Okay, that's amazing, yeah.
So she was like, whatever the fuck you need, I got you. And then I used her credit to get business credit cards. I opened up an LLC under her name.
I see.
I applied for different credit cards. So I was just, in my head, I'm like, let me get as much money as possible.
Right.
So if anything happens,
right,
I got this cushion.
Right.
So when you set it up that way, with my mom, I got $60K.
Oh, wow.
0% interest for at least a year or whatever.
Right.
So when you set it up that way, you could be very
strategic. And
yeah, because you can move your money around.
Right, because you have more capital. Now, to be fair, to be honest, there's a lot of people out here that are listening to. They're like, yo, I want to do exactly what you want to do, but capital is the number one thing, right? Mm-hmm. And so if they're not in the position where they can leverage credit or can gain as much capital as you were within your first year, what advice would you have for them?
Yeah, I would say, and because we have an Amazon community, and I have some students that ask me that, and I always tell them I'd much rather have $3,000 and know how to find products, know what's a good product and buy a product,
right,
than have $200,000 and not know how to do it.
Of course.
Because then you're gonna fuck up.
Yeah, $200,000.
That's you're gonna have all this money, and then one thing is you're gonna be forced to okay, I need to spend this money, but you don't know how to.
Right.
And then that whole thing of I have so much money, I need to spend it now. That's a terrible mentality.
Right.
It's good when you know what you're doing because it puts pressure on you.
Right.
But you're smart and you already know how the business works.
Yeah.
But right out the gate, if you've never sold a product, then that puts a lot of pressure on you. So, I have a friend. His name's Javier. He started with $500, and then last year he sold $9 million on Amazon.
$9 million.
$9 million
From $500.
And he started 7 years ago, though.
Dang. Oh, he started 7 years ago.
Yeah. So
I see. So it was.
Yeah, bro. Throughout time, you get your knowledge and money get compounded.
And resources and everything as well. Yeah. No, that's huge. So he said something really big. Don't worry about the grand scheme thing. The grand scheme of things. Learn.
Yeah, dude. Learn.
And learn. That's huge. Now, within your Amazon community, what things do you guys actually provide for some resources and knowledge-based things for your community?
We provide pretty much anything. So we go all the way from. One thing that we just now implemented is it helps with scaling because you were talking about time and stuff. So obviously a prep center helps you scale. Now another thing is since we're finding products from online websites, you don't want to spend your time looking for products.
Of course.
So one thing that I did in my Amazon store, I got virtual assistants. These are people that you could outsource out in Philippines, Pakistan, India.
Yeah.
And then you teach them how to find products, and that's what they're doing all day. They're looking for products for you, and they send you leads. Look at this product, look at that product.
Right.
So one thing that we started now offering is virtual assistants. Virtual assistants that are properly trained, that you could implement in your own Amazon store. We have a CPA that has over 200 Amazon sellers in his business.
Oh, wow.
So you understand how to read your book, your numbers. We help you look for products.
Okay.
We literally guide you.
Yeah.
And whatever anyone asks, to be honest.
So this sounds almost like a third business that you have going on. So it sounds like, and And that's actually pretty cool for me to see, because it sounds like you stem from, you know, learning the base, your one product.
Yeah.
Then going through and seeing, okay, this is what I need to do to fulfill my product. Then going and learning that avenue. And now you're building that third vertical of like helping others do it, right? By staffing a team. Now, where do you find time to kind of manage all these businesses? Because as a business owner, like I said, time, energy, money, and all these resources are your assets. Mm-hmm. So how do you manage your time?
I would say it's all about creating systems. So when a business, that's all it is. It's a system. And what I tell people is, you know, the owners the owners of Walmart aren't at the cash register, right?
Right.
They have the person that works in the cash register, then there's a manager, and then there's a GM, and then there's whatever. So when you create systems of both people and actual systems, like when you go to your job, you know, like software's involved, how to organize things.
Right.
So when you have a business like our fulfillment center, I don't have to be there and prep the products because there's an employee. And then for the employee to see what products he needs to prep, we have a software where he could see products that came in and shipments that have to be made that day and orders that he has to take care of.
Right.
So when you create systems in place, you first have to test it out yourself.
Of course.
So put yourself in that system, see how everything works good. Take yourself out of that system, put someone else in it. So you can do that with any business.
Of course, yeah.
And if you can't, that's not a business.
Right. It's not a scalable business, at least.
Because you can't. Like, a lot of people now, some people, they trade Forex, trade crypto, and I have nothing against it. I used to do it myself. But maybe there's a way you could create a system for it to work on its own. But if there's not, you're always going to have to trade yourself.
Right. Time for money.
You're always going to have to be there looking at the charts and doing it yourself.
Right.
Some people don't care. I myself, I want to create systems that does it all for me, and I could just one day eventually walk around with a bunch of businesses that work on their own and I just make money. That's my goal, like with any business I want to do.
Right. Now, within your business, I know you, like you said, you have your business partner. How many founders and co-founders and then executives, like, you know, let's just start there, like your kind of structure for your business and then trickle it down, you know? What like between you and your partner, do you guys have a third partner, a silent partner, an investor? Like, how are you guys, because you guys are both pretty young, right?
Yeah.
How are you guys able to, one, equip yourself with the knowledge needed to go execute, and then two, actually develop what you guys have developed?
So for my own store, it's just me solely. So I own 100% equity, like ownership of my own Amazon store.
Okay.
For the fulfillment center, it's me and Max. The way we did that is we found an investor. The investor was able to put up $50,000. That gave us money for warehouse racks, shelving, the software, and then months worth of employee salary.
Right.
So we were able to use that, and then it's just 50% ownership of the fulfillment center. And then right now the hierarchy that we have is a manager and 3 picker packers. We have the full capacity of doing around 15,000 units per day.
Oh, wow.
At full capacity, meaning full employees. So that would be more so of like 6 managers and 7 picker packers under each manager.
So that's a big center you guys have. Pretty. Yeah.
It's 14,000 square feet.
Okay, I see. So you guys can move actually a lot of product.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
There's a lot of space. But my goal that's like a 10-year long-term thing, and then for the community that we have, it's honestly just me and him, and then we have a Discord moderator. Right. So that Discord mod, he's just making sure people are like active, like seeing what's up. And everything else is managed through softwares. Like, we send out reminders of when like our weekly meetings are happening. That one's like super manageable.
Right, for sure. Something that we're all on our phones 24/7. Yeah. So, and then with that being said, going into, that next phase of like, equipping people with knowledge, I noticed that you guys just started your own podcast, utilizing social media to, share your resources, right? So what's kind of your plan for social media and your growth and some of the things you have in mind?
My biggest project that I want to do is for my YouTube. To be honest. Yeah, I feel like YouTube is really where you get to know somebody at a personal or business level, whatever way you want it, whatever way they want to portray themselves, pretty much.
100%.
So with me, I want to be able to do like vlogs of not just my life, but like my day-to-day. Like I don't just wake up and drive 180 miles per hour in a McLaren all day. Like,
dream life.
That's not what I do. I wake up and like, just like I told you in the elevator, I woke up and literally had a meeting as soon as I woke up.
Right.
So sometimes I do that. but that gives me time to, you know, be able to do everything else that I have. So I want people to have that non-transparent
that
visibility
and
to
the
my
inner
life.
look inside, you know, what it actually takes, the day-to-day, the struggles, the wins, the losses, all that, right?
And I get to document like my whole journey too, because Hermosi talks about that. Like, imagine if you were able to see all these great businesses when they first started. A lot of people, they see Amazon as the humongous monstrosity that it is right now, but they don't see Jeff Bezos. They don't see a clip of Jeff Bezos going up to his dad and saying, "Hey, Dad, let me borrow $200,000." And then going up to his manager or boss saying, "Hey, boss, I think I want to start a business." Like, they don't see that. They don't see the first levels where he had to break through. So being able to document my journey is also like really important.
Of course, yeah. I mean, documentation is everything, because now it just shows anything is possible. Like you said, a lot of people look at Amazon, Tesla. I mean, Tesla was about to go bankrupt right before they, you know. So most people don't actually calculate what it takes to succeed, you know. And I like that you said that personal, like, inner life of, like.
I think that's why people like Elon a lot. He's so, like, he literally tweeted, Tesla's going bankrupt in like a couple days or something.
Yeah, he did. And then he got some funding, or I don't know what happened, but
he got a $50 million loan like 2 days later.
2 days later from that tweet. Yeah, that's crazy.
That's transparency.
Transparency,
for you,
right.
Like, and people, the thing is, like, you and me, like, all right. So if someone told me like, yo, I think I might, like, I'm running out of money.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be like, oh wow, that never happens. I'm gonna be like, dude, like, I almost ran out of money.
Exactly. Like, we've been in the trenches. Yeah.
Real business owners, entrepreneurs understand, like, complications, challenges, because that's normal.
Right.
And then a lot of people that don't have businesses or want to start a business, they have this like extremely unrealistic facade of like a business is perfect, everything goes well.
Of course, yeah.
And someone made $1 million the next day. It's like, no, if that person did that, like, he probably pumped a meme coin. And that's not normally how things happen.
It's not sustainable at all, actually.
Like that.
Yeah, no, I like that you said that, because, I mean, a lot of the times, you know, someone releases one hit song and they go viral or something, and they're like, but they don't understand how many songs it took to produce that, right? Or one viral video, right? You don't understand how many days people have been making content for. Or like, that final business idea that works, you know, they don't understand how many concepts and you know, that didn't even get out the room.
How many fucking times you fucking cry?
Yeah, like, sweat, blood, and tears.
Yeah.
Now, what's the facade for entrepreneurship that social media gets strong? Because we see a lot of things now. You know, everybody driving supercars, penthouses, and so we think that, like you said, people like hate the 9-to-5 lifestyle, but when you're an entrepreneur, it's 9 to 9, it's 12 to 12. You know, so what's one facade that you would say, like, you want to get corrected, or just something that you want to put out there?
Yeah, I would say the only way you're gonna actually make it is by consistently doing what you're supposed to be doing as much as possible every day. Because a lot of people, they have this tendency, like, I mean, it's also misinformation online. I don't like blaming people, because, like, that's what they're doing, but it's because of, like, the information or, like, the environment they're in.
Of course.
So there's a lot of information of you have to have this morning routine, or you have to have your schedule where, you know, Saturdays for 5 hours you have to be outside and get sun. Like, all this, like, nonsense is, like, first of all, if you have to do that, then that's what you have to do. But if you don't, if you're totally fine not spending 5 hours in the sun on Saturday, then don't do it. If anything, that's more to your benefit, because business is all output. So it doesn't matter how much time you put in. It matters how much, like, results, like numbers, all that. So a lot of people, it takes them a while to get that perfect flow going.
Of course.
And when they get that wrong flow of, like, oh yeah, no, I worked all day and I'm gonna go party, or like go chill with people. Like, if you could consistently think about how you could produce more by doing less, then more power to you. But a lot of people, they don't teach like that. They don't teach that you have to have systems in place. So for them, it's just whatever's online going viral. They want to research that topic, get motivated, look at a couple videos, and then go back to, like, their regular life. Like, I'm gonna get that car, and then not do a single fucking thing the next day.
Right. No, I mean, that's huge. I think I mean, that's what it comes down to. Like, there's so many different $1 million ideas that we're exposed to now. Like, back in the day, like, for you to get, like, knowledge on information on one thing was very difficult, right? But now the issue is information overload. Yeah. So any industry I want to learn, I can go on YouTube, search it up. I can get any information I want on it. I can now go to ChatGPT, say, hey, build me X, Y, and Z. And it's there. And so now most people get paralyzed by that because they're like, it's just, today's this, tomorrow's that. And so they're all over the place, right? Whether that's e-com, Forex,
everything.
You know, like everybody's trying to get rich and quick, right? But it's not really that way. Like you might see early success, but at the end of the day, to sustain that, you have to build and continue to build, or it's just gonna fall. Because with no foundation, you know.
Yeah, exactly. The foundation is important. A lot of people. That's another thing. A lot of people overlook the foundation because I have friends that they were able to make a lot of money from their business because, you know, they got taught well, they were right in the community. They did that part they didn't do wrong.
Right.
What they did wrong was after they succeeded. They saw the big win. They're like, yeah, bro, I made a lot of money. Accounting doesn't matter. Operations doesn't matter.
Right.
Your systems don't matter. You putting time into the business to keep growing it doesn't matter. Yeah, there's their mentality. Yeah. And then that's what makes them fall because they end up making a lot of money, succeeding. They see their little success. They're like, all right, bet I made it. And then it makes them overlook at the stuff that they have to keep looking at.
Right.
When you compare that to an entrepreneur who's been doing it for a year and a half trying and finally made it, he understands like, okay, cool, I made it, but I have to keep doing the things I've been doing for the last year and a half. Because if I don't, my business is going to go down.
Right.
So that's how you compare, like...
Yeah, it's almost like a star athlete that's just naturally talented who can go on the football field, go catch a football, and score touchdowns, right? Yeah. And then compared to that guy that had to go work, learn the skills to go cut. Yeah. And now when those guys are both in college, the talent doesn't understand that everybody's talented. So the people who work hard and is talented are the people that are actually going to succeed. So I like that example there. Now, what was it for you like, right? Because, I mean... Everybody, when they touch money, they have to get distracted, right? Because, I mean, they don't have to, but majority of the time, you end up dabbling in things that you didn't have access to before, right? So when you started making money, like you said, you kind of started going partying. What was that phase like, and how did you get out of that phase?
I mean, for me, there's different ways to get out of it, but for me, it was just like the failures, the challenges.
Right.
Like I saw my business starting to crumble.
Right.
And I had to really like sit down and think, why is this happening? You know, I mean, the very first thing, like, fuck, like, what just happened? Like, think of how you can fix it.
Okay,
like,
right.
For sure, like, because that's all it is. Every day, I'm finding solutions.
Right.
This stuff breaks. Okay, how do we fix it?
Okay.
That's the first thing I did, how to find a solution, which is what I said. But then after I found the solution, I'm like, all right, why the fuck did this just happen?
Right.
Because I cannot let that happen again. And I started realizing, okay, like, probably shouldn't go out 3 days a week.
3 days a week. Yeah. Was that Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
Yeah, sometimes Monday too.
Sometimes Monday. Yo, Monday is crazy. Yeah.
Real entrepreneurs go out on Monday.
Yeah. That's when the networking really happens. Yeah.
But that was also my first month living in Brickell.
Right. Oh yeah.
With my boy. And we're like, yo, we're here. Like,
you guys got
42nd floor, crazy view, and nah.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's keeping it real. So, So, I mean, let's talk about that, right? You go get the nice car, you go get the nice apartment. Like, that's a reward for yourself, right? Like, hey, I can sustain this now because I put the work in. But sometimes it gets distracting because you have to go leverage those assets you just purchased, like the apartment or the car, you know?
Yeah, for me, I got the we moved in June.
Okay.
So my second big month was May. So literally the next month.
Yeah, he's like, I'm in. Let's go.
So in the apartment, but yeah, my car, it was February.
Okay, so I mean that's still like a short time frame between February and March, you know, to acquire all these things, right? I mean, as much as we like to say like we acquire things for our personal needs, it's also for external needs as well. So how do you leverage that, like, you know, because then you go get a car, but you're not gonna go keep it parked. You know, you go get a nice apartment, you're not gonna just not have anybody over, but then you still have this thing you're building, you know?
Yeah. So the way I purchased a car is actually very interesting. I purchased a course to purchase a car. Because the thing about a lot of people think like, oh yeah, I'll just go in a dealership and they're going to qualify me to get a car.
Right.
I'm going to get accepted. It's like, first of all, you're not going to get accepted.
Right, especially a nice car like that.
Yeah, so McLaren was $150K, and the way it works is comparable car credit. So they look at your last loan of a car. My last car loan, $16,000 Honda Civic.
Right. Yeah,
I'm jumping from $16,000 Honda Civic to $150,000 McLaren.
That's crazy.
They're not going to accept me. So I had to go learn a course and see how can I steer step my way. I basically learned the whole course and didn't apply it because I was able to network. I met Walter from Fresh and Fit.
Yeah.
We met him at Boxer at the gym, and he posted on his story like, "Who wants a supercar?" So Max went up to him. He was like, "Yo, I saw your post."
Yeah.
So because of that, like, we want a supercar. And the next day, we literally went and got a McLaren.
Yeah. Oh wow. That's
so because of that, we were able to skip the whole. I mean, networking is always going to get you there.
Okay.
Like,
yeah. Of
over
course.
anything.
Over
like
anything.
if you know the right people, fuck knowledge.
Yeah.
Like you're just gonna get it.
Hey, wow. Let's go
Yeah.
right into that. Actually, now that we're here, the power of networking.
Yeah.
You know, networking is everything. You know, whether you're in business, whether you're a college student, networking is everything, right? So
Yeah.
can you talk about relationships here?
Yeah. So networking is just like by far the biggest, most powerful thing in the world.
Yeah.
If you know the right people and your business, all right, let's look at two different people.
Okay.
One person very knowledgeable, knows what the fuck is going on. Network is mid. One person knows half of what the other guy knows. Networking is 2 times better. It's pretty good.
Right.
Both people are in the same situation where they're getting sued or losing money and they need help. This person is most likely going to lose. This person knows the right people and is going to continue going in business.
Right.
This person is not only going to continue going, the person that are helping them out, he's going to nurture that relationship and to do even bigger things than what he was doing just now, because that's business. Like if someone fucks with you and said, "Damn, you're in trouble," you know, like, "I'll help you out, we'll work something out." And then because of that, they're going to build some sort of partnership.
Of course.
Something greater than that happens.
Can go from you.
This guy's fucked though. This other guy, he's fucked. His network is terrible. He doesn't have a team. One thing I like to talk about a lot is because there's a lot of people that are selfish nowadays.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, what's in it for me?"
Of course.
Now, don't get me wrong. Everything in my idea, relationships should be transactional, because if I'm going to chill with someone, like, I want to make sure I'm chilling with someone's my mindset, that later on, you know, we could build something or whatever. But you can make them transactional.
Right.
So one of our Joseph, I've known him since he was 14. So he wanted to learn Amazon with me, and he was 19. So I saw potential in him. I saw this guy, you know, he likes to work hard or whatever. Right. So we helped him get different credit cards, kind of like the way I did it. He had $0.
Same model.
He had $0 cash.
Okay.
So he got, I think, $22,000 in credit.
Damn.
Yeah.
At 19.
At 19, yeah. So he just grabbed that money, bought a bunch of Adidas shoes, a bunch of other stuff, flipping it. And then what I told him, I saw like, wow, he's actually like buying stuff. He's actually like scaling his Amazon store.
Right.
Started teaching him about like Amazon. And then another thing we did is, I think it was come around like January, because he was able to flip the money that he got. Mm-hmm. I told him, like, dude, show your mom, show your sales, and like create a meeting with you, me, and your mom. And we applied for credit through his mom's name, and his mom got like $220K. Oh, so now Joseph went from like 0 to like hundreds of thousands to use for his Amazon store. Knows how to sell on Amazon. Right. And now he's a partner. He's not a partner, but he runs his Amazon store in our warehouse. Right. So if anything happens in the warehouse, his stuff is there, and he could also like help out. Like he matches on the employees, he matches on the software, he matches on the rent, and then he's becoming more powerful. So if you want your team to be good, you have to make them powerful yourself sometimes.
Right. You have to equip them. Wow, I mean, that's actually a huge thing, the power of delegation and empowerment, right? Yeah. So not only delegating tasks or asking for help, but then allowing these people to operate at their own, you know, so they can grow and learn, rather than micromanaging what you're delegating, because then you're not really delegating. Yeah. And that's a huge skill.
Why that's very, very important, aside from like, you know, obviously benefiting, like they're knowing stuff, you could partner with them, but in the moment you get fucked, and if your team isn't powerful enough, they're not going to be able to help you. Right. You're fucked. Because a lot of people, like, when they're entrepreneurs or, like, thinking about entrepreneurship, they think about winning. I think about, what if I lose? Yeah. Like, who's going to back me up? Who's going to be there? Joseph is powerful enough. Max is powerful enough. Right. Julian's powerful enough. We got other guys in the warehouse that are powerful enough. Right. If my shit starts going down, they could all come together. We could plan something out, and they could help me. Yeah. So you have to think about, what if you lose? Who's going to be there for you? Who's going to help you like overcome that obstacle?
Yeah, man, that's something I don't think a lot of hierarchy leaders do this, but you know, people who are in a position of power don't do enough, is delegate with empowerment. You know, they'll delegate, say I need X, Y, and Z done this way. But sometimes it's almost cooler to let the creative go out of delegation. So I'm going to delegate this to you. I want you to do it a certain way. But if you have any ideas in the process that can make this better or more creative, do that, right? I don't want it done my way. I want it done our way. So that's a huge thing that I think is one of the very first steps of becoming a good leader.
Yeah, dude.
Is delegating and empowering rather than micromanaging. So, I mean, that's huge. Like, perfect example. This is a guy you've known since he was 14. Like, you could have looked at him like just like a kid. Like, hey, he's 19, you know?
Like, oh, whatever. Yeah.
But you not only gave him the information and resources, but you empowered him to, you know, go stack up and be a partner. So that's huge.
There's a thing about that, though. So you can't just, like, go around trying to empower everybody in the world. You got to make sure you empower the right people.
Of course.
And the way I do that is through test. So he came to me. You know, I've talked about Amazon. I never told him, like, yo, you should do it.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, shit, like, how do I do it?
Right.
And he didn't just come to me. He came to me with a plan. Like, yo, how do I do it? Like, these are my goals.
Right.
All that stuff. I'm like, okay, like, there's some potential here.
Okay.
And then I told him, like, the business model. He's like, okay, so I have $0, but what can I do?
Okay.
So it wasn't just like, I have a lot of money, like, sure, I could spend it. It was like, there's no way for me to do it, but I want to do it, so what do I do to do it?
Yeah,
so I'm like,
crazy.
okay, like, that problem solving, that's part of, like, business. Okay, I like that. I told him, like, we could get credit cards. Took a risk. That's part of business.
Risk
taking.
Yeah.
Business worked. Successful. He's a good entrepreneur. So then you put out tests. If they pass the test, and, you know, you keep, like, trying to see what else is there, like, what potential. If they fail the test, then you're like, okay, like, either this is the level where they could be at. Now, if there's some sort of, like, still potential that you think they could be at, you could try to help them surpass that test. Like, you know, guide them a certain way.
Of course.
But you have to know people's limits and then try to see if it's worth giving them more, like, power, like, helping them surpass that limit. That
of course. I mean, that's huge that you even said that, because it's not just about delegating and empowering. It's about the person that you're delegating and empowering themselves, saying, you know, taking the risk, right? Going and getting 200,000 under your mom's name is crazy, right? But if you believe, right, and you're like, all right, I'm going to take this risk, there's a lot of upside to that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And not only that, it was like he took initiative. Like, it wasn't like you were sitting here begging him, hey, Joseph, come here.
Please
Come. Like, we need your help. It was like, no, he came in, he saw the value that you were providing, and then he was like, let me match this. And that's huge for, you know, young entrepreneurs, young people who are in business who don't really understand, like, how to do this. Just go act, but act with the best intention, and, you know, you'll find someone like you who will partner up and help you grow. So that's huge. I like that you said that. That's another big one.
Yeah, because entrepreneurs care about people. Like, I cannot tell you how many times I've networked or talked to people that, you know, look famous, look like they know what they're doing because of, like, you know, whatever they're driving or their lifestyle or whatever. And when I talk to them on a business to business level or, like, personality or whatever, I'm like, wow, this person's fucking stupid. Like, how the fuck does this guy make money?
Bro, this is so true.
Like, how? Like, there's no way.
No, I want to go into that because a lot of people see stuff online, social media. Like, a lot of people will go on there. You see someone with mad success, mad views, cars, money, all that. But most of the time, it's just the people that they have around them, you know, or it's just a facade, right? But yeah, that's another big thing, especially being here in Miami. I've been so, like, I can't wait to meet this person, and then I finally run across them, and I'm like, wow. Like, okay, if he can do it, anybody can do it. You can do it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. What do you think the gap is between, you know, people who have the right people around them, like, and the people who don't?
I mean, kudos to them, bro.
Yeah.
Like, they were able to make it just from their network. Like,
yeah.
I think if you can make it just from your network, it's fine.
Right.
As long as you know that there's stuff that you have to keep managing so it doesn't fall apart.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro, like, there's a lot of people that just aren't intellectually there or like have the experience that you thought they would have because of how they made it. Like, they made it because of meme coin or a pump and dump or because they knew this guy and this guy put him on that gave him, like, a really good salary for doing sort of thing. Right. So when I'm talking to them, I'm like, wow, like, you really, like, cannot judge a book by its cover, like, at all.
No, you can't.
One of my favorite people that I've talked to don't have a nice car. Like, they don't have a nice car. They don't have, like, this nice ass apartment. And, like, because they don't give a fuck about that. Like, for me, like, I got it because I fuck with cars. Like, honestly, I want to drive a McLaren. Right. But also it helps you network. So a lot of people like have literally talked to me because of my car. Like they don't give a shit. Like, oh, who's that guy? Oh, look at his car.
Right.
But I've done the same, and a lot of times I'm like, how do I even talk to you?
Right, for sure. So there's a different intellectual, like when you're talking to them. So, you said something big there. Like a lot of the times that you see someone driving something nice, or they're perceiving a nice thing. It's externally, but it helps them with business.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
Early on, like my brother used to run a sales team, right?
Nice.
So you have to go recruit people to come sell. You have to convince people that what you sell is enough to do a lifestyle, right? So what we went and did is he went and got a top penthouse, went and got a couple different cars. But it was literally all for the leverage of marketing, like bringing people in, because when people see nice things, and that's one thing too, you have to understand that's a manipulation in a way, because when you're online, okay, cool, we're gonna have you in our penthouse, like, yo, this is what you can do to just come sell, right? So that's one thing I would say, like, be very aware of, like, because people will sell you a dream without actually a dream attached to it, right? So look at the internal thing, look at the foundation that you're around, and see what you're building. I mean, I'm not saying that because the opportunity was lucrative. That's how we were able to actually go acquire those assets like that. But that's a marketing tactic, 101. You go slap a sign on that's a write-off. So most of the time you don't see people just stupidly going and purchase it because you can't afford it. You can't afford
Even
to go spend
you want to rent it. It's a lot of money.
It's still a lot of money to rent it. So I mean, don't ever like out leverage yourself, but also know that like, hey, like this could be a tool to help my business. So I mean that's something we used to do. So all right, let's
I think there's nothing wrong with it if you have something to back it up with.
Exactly right, like an offer, like you know what I'm saying.
Something good. Like it's not like a scam shit. Like,
for sure. And that's what I'm saying, because sometimes it is a scam. Like sometimes people will literally go rent an Airbnb in a car and then go sell you a course, right?
Yo, look at this shit.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, this is how I did it. Go buy this course, and that course was written by AI, ChatGPT, structured out all in like an hour. And now they're just marketing it, right? Because another good thing is you can have the best product in the world, the best service in the world, but if you don't market it correctly, then nobody's gonna actually, convert. Whether that's a client, whether that's a partner, you have to be able to market your ideas correctly. And this is how people do it nowadays: is social media and creating a lifestyle around it. So, could you talk about a little bit of kind of the gap? Like, let's say I'm an entrepreneur, I'm making some money, I want to sell people into a vision that I'm building. At what point do I start leveraging social media assets to then go ahead and do that?
Yeah, so I would first say before you think about like teaching, make sure you do it yourself and it works, and make sure you do it for a consistent amount of time.
Right.
Because the last thing you want to do is, let's say people like join your community, right? And ask you questions. You're like, I don't know what the fuck they're asking me. Like,
of course.
What is this? Like, it's too advanced for you. So after you get that part, leverage as much as possible, and then don't try to do what's called a launch. Like, try to give out as much free value as possible.
Of course.
For as much as you could possibly do it for. Now, if you could do it for at least 3 months, that would be great. Build an audience, do something for you to have that one launch day. Like, hey guys, I know I've given you out a lot of value. I've actually decided to do my own one-on-one direct mentorship on this and build a community in which we could all succeed. These are all my resources available for this community. And this is the time and date where we're going to launch it. And we're going to do it in the form of a webinar. You join the webinar, and then after the webinar, we'll go over the details of how you can join. So if you set it up in a way like that, like, wow, I've been watching this guy for like 4 months. He's finally teaching. Like, I've asked him. Like, some people have even asked you, like, throughout the time, like, yo, can you teach me? And you'd be like, I don't teach right now, but like, I'm going to keep giving out content. So you have a bunch of people that are warm as fuck, ready to join. And then you do it. Now, if you right off the back, you haven't, done it yourself for that much, you're like, hey guys, I'm teaching, and this is what I have. It's like, who the hell are you, number one? And number two is like, nobody cares. Most people don't care about like your information.
Of course. No, most people don't. They care about the lifestyle that your information can get them. That's what it comes down to. That's actually some bad free game. Like, you're really dropping some bars now.
It's info.
Might have to charge for this. So outside of e-com, and obviously the fulfillment center and obviously the course, what are some other plans for you? Some of the things you're cooking up, or some visions that you have?
So I think I'm really good with those three for a while, to be honest.
Right.
Like, I'm very happy and like pleased where I'm at. Like, I don't really see myself opening a new thing.
Yeah.
For at least like 2 years.
2 years.
There's a fulfillment center. There's a 100,000 square foot fulfillment center, and it's 45 minutes away from mine.
Oh shit.
And they're doing 150,000 units a day.
Right.
E-com is growing. We don't just fulfill Amazon sellers. We fulfill for eBay, Shopify, Facebook. TikTok Shop, like a bunch of other third-party platforms, your own website. So I really want to scale that up.
Yeah.
My own Amazon store, I really want to scale that up because at one point, not finally, but like a couple months ago, we finally delegated all the employees. There's a system in place.
Right.
So all I have to do is make purchases for it to go there and it gets prepped. So if I could just get more money to keep growing that business, there's not really a limit. Cause
it's like a store. Yeah, it's like
they sell 16 billion a day.
Yeah, so 16 billion a day.
A day.
I did not know that.
A day.
16 billion
and then
a day.
40% of everything you buy is from a third-party seller.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
40%. So that means 60% is internal from Amazon itself.
Amazon and not a third-party seller like brands and like the rights owner.
Oh, right. It's not like Nike's actually on there. It's like a reseller of Nike. Correct. Right. So 40% of that is resell.
40% of that is resell, and there's a lot of new edges in the market happening in selling on Amazon because I have my own warehouse,
right,
and I have a community, so I could also become like another way you could buy products is from wholesalers, distributors,
right,
sell on Amazon. I could be a distributor,
right, because you already have potential buyers.
Yeah, and I could also open up direct accounts with brands,
right,
because I'm a distributor with 150 members in my community that will buy and all that.
Of course.
So that gives me leverage to buy a lot, and then use some of that inventory to sell it on my own store. So buying power goes up. So there's a lot of stuff there I want to like dive deep in.
Yeah.
To keep growing it. And then the community as well, we're growing that a lot. We also call ourselves Ecom Success Network, so we don't call ourselves just like Amazon, FBA. Right. Because another thing that my partner has been diving into is TikTok Shop. So he's reselling on TikTok Shop.
TikTok Shop is huge
He's about to hit 1,000 in sales tomorrow, I believe.
Yeah.
Because yesterday he did like 800, today might be like around the same. Wow. So sometime like this upcoming days he's gonna do 1,000 in sales. So he keeps like trying to learn it, and then we're gonna roll out a community in TikTok. So then we have TikTok, we have Amazon, and then I'm also selling on Walmart. So I want to keep being good at like scaling up the Walmart side. Yeah. And then get a community for Walmart. So I want to do like everything e-com.
Right. So back to the delegation conversation, because like you said, in order for you to continue to scale and get to other things, you have to be able to delegate other things. But your current delegation, you said just a few months ago, you guys delegated the whole operation. So now on your e-com side, all you're doing is purchasing products to go to the fulfillment center, right? And then now your other focus is on growing, right? Now, what specific... Because when you're delegating, like I said, you have to be able to empower. Have you had issues where you've staffed somebody and it just didn't go right? Now you have to staff someone else, and in the process of empowering the person you're delegating to.
Yeah, but it ended up going well. So I have one guy who's part of our warehouse, and when he first started, the thing about a warehouse is that it's a fixed cost. Yeah. Now, when you work with a prep center, it's a variable cost. You know, they charge you a per unit fee. Right. So the more units you send out, the more you spend on prep center fees or whatever. Warehouse, it's a fixed cost. So for you to get a warehouse, it has to mathematically make sense. You have to ship out a certain amount of volume for you to break through. Like, okay, like now it makes sense. Right. So for the first 3 months, this person wasn't breaking through that number, and then he was starting to get very sad, depressed, and like just like always scroll on Instagram, look at different like bullshit like video game YouTube videos. Like I was like,
distracted. And you were here at the prep houses too.
I was in the warehouse, and I would see that every day, and I would be like, at one point I grabbed him. I'm like, all right, look, bro, what's going on? Because like it's been going on for a minute, and he brought it up to me, but he brought it up to me in a very depressed way. Where honestly, like I'm not the type to like push you away if you're sad. Yeah. But I walked out because I didn't know what to say.
Yeah, you were just like frozen, like.
I always know what to say, but that was like one of those moments where I'm like, I don't know what to say, so I just left. Yeah. Next day, we're in the truck. We're like, all right, like bro, like here's your situation. I actually created a solution for us. What you're gonna do is you're gonna hit up all your people, your mom as well, whoever has good credit, and you're gonna do what we do, right? Like we get people credit cards and 0% interest. You're gonna hit them up, and we're gonna do different meetings. I'm gonna be in those meetings talking to them as well. And then we're going to do what's called a round of funding. We're going to get different credit cards under their name. You're going to give them a percentage of your sales or interest on the amount of credit that you use. And you're going to use their money. You're going to buy more products. And at first he's like, oh, I thought you didn't listen to me because like, he thought he was being too sad. I'm like, no, because I didn't really know what to like.
Right.
But now I'm telling you, like, this is what we're going to do. He's like, okay, I think I could do that. And then after that, in my head, I'm like, okay, I mean, he said he could do it, so like, I think we're back on track. So now he's pretty much good. He was able to like, he got his mom, his brother, and one of his friends. And now his friend likes the Amazon business, is gonna bring in an investor to his Amazon store. So it all worked out. But it's just having that conversation with them.
Right.
And that's another thing about business. A lot of people, like, when they're doing business, they usually start off with friends.
Yeah,
and
of course.
It's very hard to have those hard conversations.
Yeah,
because it's like, it's your boy.
Yeah.
It's like, you can't really tell your boy, like, dude, I think this isn't going to work out.
Right.
Because it's your friend.
Yeah,
You've known him for a while.
Of course.
So he was my friend. I met him in high school. So I told him, like, straight up, like, dude, if you don't do this, like, you can't be in this warehouse. Like, you're giving, like, terrible energy. Like, everyone's like, what the fuck's wrong with this guy? So we're gonna have to do this. Either that, like, you have to find another way to get more money. Like, I don't know what else to tell you.
Right. That's a tough conversation that most of the time you're gonna have to have at some point in the business. Yeah. You might have to revisit that conversation in 6 months on a different topic, right? And how would, I mean, that's huge just because, like you said, most of the time you're starting with friends, but how do you navigate that relationship now? Because now you know, business is business, regardless of the relationship we have, business is business. So how do you navigate having these conversations, delegating certain tasks without pride and ego being involved?
It's very hard, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, sometimes it's so hard that it's not doable.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's so hard that no matter what you put into it, like the amount of time and energy, you just cannot do business with that person, no matter how intellectually good and savvy and like how much value you think they're gonna bring into the business.
Right.
Because of that relationship and because of, like, what you mentioned, pride.
Right.
Pride is a huge thing, mostly in men.
Yeah.
Because if you and your boy are starting a business, both at the same level, and then anyone from outside can say, hey, that guy's obviously, like, knows what the fuck he's doing more than this other guy.
Of course.
And that guy that knows what he's doing is telling the other guy, like, hey, I think we should do this way.
Yeah.
The other guys would be like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, like,
right.
we're going to do it, like, this way. You can be like, look, bro, like, I think we should do this way because of X, Y, and Z. And that way actually makes sense. But he's not going to listen to you because he's stagnant on that. He's like, we both started this.
Yeah.
I think your way is wrong.
Yeah.
And he's never going to see, like, your perspective. And that stuff is always going to cause blockade.
Right.
And it's just not doable.
Right.
Sometimes it just cannot be doable.
And have you run into that situation yourself where it just was at the point where, like, as much as gifted as they are, as much value as they bring, the pride overshot, right? Because they don't have the mindset of, like, no, this guy's more knowledgeable than me, or hey, maybe this route would work. They're like 10 toes down on what they believe. Have you been in that situation?
Never to that point, but I've seen, like, where it could get like that.
Yeah.
Max and I pretty much, because, bro, like, I mean, dude, he started a year and a half before me.
Of course.
Like, I'm coming, like, like 5-6 months in, and I'm telling him, like, no, honestly, like, I think this way's better.
Yeah.
He was like, bro, what? Like, sit your ass down. Like, I've been doing this for 2 years. What do you mean? I'm like, no, like, honestly, like, this was mostly around virtual assistants.
Right.
Because I come from B2B sales.
Right.
And, like, virtual assistants are not, going out cold calling or anything like that.
But
there's an environment in place. Like, we have a way they could send leads, a way to track your leads and how much money they're making. To like, manage them pretty much. And I took my past experience to bring it into this, because him and I, we share the same virtual assistants.
Right.
So I took that past experience and I brought on. I'm like, honestly, like, I think we should set it up this way and do this and do that. And he's like, we're like, he was double checking me, like fact checking me. He's like, why, where, like, when? Because he, like, I'm not like saying like he comes from a terrible experience background. He was a server. Right.
So just completely different.
There's stuff.
Yeah.
But he also worked at a warehouse. So he has some stuff. But I came from, like, a digital environment where you could talk to people virtually all the time.
Of course.
And that's what we were dealing with, virtual assistants. So he was like, just questioning me a lot,
Right.
like a lot.
So he didn't want to do the VAs at first?
It's not that. It was more so like, just didn't think that I was fit to make that choice in a way.
Meaning you were pitching him on the idea of bringing VAs in, and he was like, no, we got to do it all in-house? Or you guys already had the VAs in,
Yeah.
and he wanted to structure the relationship differently that you guys have with the
Yeah,
VAs?
correct. Like, why Discord?
Okay.
And then why are they using Google Sheets? And then why are we having meetings this times? And then why this frequent? And then why are we talking to them in the mornings? And why are we having a stand-up meeting? And then why are we having an end of the day meeting? Like, why? So it was just like a lot of like, I wish you were there, like when I was working, because that's what we did for 4 years.
Right. Because you're watching someone like, say, a big IT company operate. Obviously, you can take whatever tools and plug it in, but he's coming from like, no, I'm at a warehouse. Like, we don't use VAs. We have calls maybe one meeting a month. It's just a complete different background.
He didn't know about KPIs. He didn't know, like, track
metrics.
People, yeah.
No, that's huge. And what's cool about that is like that's the power of also bringing someone in, is because you can take the two perspectives and bring them in and combine and build.
Yeah.
Because his perspective, you might not know, your perspective, he might not know, and then you combine those two and you guys can build up. But then you have that issue sometimes where you're like, no.
Yeah.
But no, that's cool that you actually can go over that, because that's huge. I mean, VAs were something big for me in my business. Before I was like, I'm not gonna hire, because I come from sales too, and I was to consumer though, it wasn't B2B. And so I'm like, I'm not going to have my client talk to someone from overseas, because they're going to think my business is like some janky business, right? So, and I don't recommend getting VAs to cold call, but if you find, or just even meet with your clients, but if you find the right VA, and you hire your staff correctly, they can execute better than someone here, right? So, I mean, that was...
With us, we did a partnership with, this is a university in the Philippines.
Oh.
So you're getting like actual scholars. Like one of my VAs has a college degree in computer science.
Oh, wow.
And then the other one has 2 years of Amazon wholesale experience. So you could actually, like, a lot of people like, oh no, he's from India. It's like, first of all, fucking racist. Second of all, there's a lot of good talent out there that they're overlooking.
No, I mean overlooking. If you're a business and you're not using VAs where you can, one, you're spending more money than you need to. Two, you're probably getting less quality of work than you could in the VA. Because my VA, I had someone here that I was using just for like pitch decks, graphic design. They were very expensive. I wasn't making any margin on it. If I got a client that they were doing it, I was just middlemaning. I wasn't making any margin. Then I was like, you know what, let me go out to let me just get a VA. I need some admin work. My VA calls me and she's like, hey, I think we should do this. She's like, bro, if I could fly her out and have her here, she would be, But most of the time, we're definitely overlooking the idea of having someone overseas, because they have to go get educated, right? They're building their career. That is their career in their country, right? So don't think that they're not like,
literally,
like competent or do it. Like they're worth so much to a business, and you can speak to that, right? Yeah.
So one of my distributors, he sells on Amazon too. Try not to do that. Try not to like work with a wholesaler that sells on Amazon. It's like
competitor.
Because it's like, why don't they sell on Amazon?
Right.
Whatever. But he has a virtual assistant that worked at Amazon for 3 years.
Ooh.
So when they brought her in, she was like, there was no training. Like, she already knew, and this was like the department of where they deal with customer service and violations, and then like if any account is going to get suspended, deactivated, what paperwork is required for an account to be good. So she's like, I already know what to do. Like, fuck this.
Right. So he got like, one, he's probably paying her way below market that he would pay someone here for that.
Yeah, of course.
And then two, the leverage that she brought is insane, because now he has a competitive advantage over other, people on Amazon, because she worked directly for Amazon. So that's actually a cool story, because you'll never know the talent you'll find,
I think with this was something that Hermosi brought up, and then I'd say like everything in business is mostly arbitrage.
Yeah.
Like, this is less here, and you're gonna put it over here to make more money.
Right.
Like there's always a discrepancy.
Right.
So there's this thing called employee arbitrage.
Right.
Where you're paying the salary, and then a lot of times, like, a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to pay that salary, it's too much. But the amount of value that you're getting out of that, because of that person's contacts, experience, mindset, work ethic, what they're going to bring to the table overall, is like you make way more money.
Yeah, the
way
expense.
more money.
I mean, it's just like, yeah, expense profit, right? What am I
Way more
spending for
money.
this to get this?
He brought that up because he was paying an employee $1 million a year, and then from his estimates, she brought in $10 million the next year.
Wow.
From his
from like
the amount of shit
obviously
that she brought.
Yeah, the value that she brought.
It was mergers and acquisitions. That's what it was.
Mergers and acquisitions.
So she was in that space for like decades.
Right.
So she brought in the contacts, the investors, like a bunch
Partners
of shit.
and relationships.
He didn't have to do anything.
Yeah. Now he just had to have his value proposition sell itself. No, that's huge. And this is a big part too. Sometimes with owners distributing equity, because sometimes you might have a position where you built everything. You've already put all this sweat equity in. But in order to go to the next level, you need that Rolodex of contacts. You need that Rolodex of information that you're missing, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes owners are skeptical of giving out. They're too emotionally attached to what they've built, and they don't want to give out equity to someone who could double the valuation of the company, right? And so they decide, hey, unless you're taking the salary, I'm not open for equity. But most of the time, by giving a part of your business, right? Let's say your business is evaluated at $1 million. By you giving 10 to 20%, you can get to that $10 million a year.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? But you have to detach yourself from that 20%, because what's 20% of $1 million, and then what's 80% of 10 million?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you got to look at it like that. So, I mean, and these are all things that you won't know unless you're going through it, right?
Yeah,
So,
that's so true.
I think a big part of business is you learn a lot by just trying. Right? Like, if you're not in the right places at the right time, or if you're not around the right people, there's a lot of information that you miss out on. And so, I mean, can you talk about some of the stuff? Like, obviously you had Max, but Max is around your age. Max might have had some mentors too, but you had to have expanded to go learn, right? Whether it's, you talk a lot about Hermosi, that's a lot of personal development.
Yeah.
Because he pumps out a ton of value online. Where are you getting some of your information? Where are you getting some of your knowledge of things that you just don't know about?
Yeah, I've yet to meet, actually probably just one. I've yet to actually have a mentor.
Yeah.
Everybody's literally from YouTube. Like,
Yeah.
you go to YouTube, one of the highest, most brilliant minds, and then have like information, also books on it.
Right.
Like Charlie Munger.
Yeah.
His books, Warren Buffett, his books, his videos of him just talking.
Yeah.
Steve Jobs is like the world's greatest marketer if you want to learn marketing.
For sure.
Just putting like an image in front of your company, like fuck your company, it's people like that's Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
So those are my mentors. I've had one mentor that I've spoken like face to face. He's given me like great advice. It's Michael Girardi. He's right across my building. Very well established guy, like multi-millions, 32 years old.
Wow.
So that guy I've spoken with. But yeah, pretty much just YouTube. Like, there's a bunch of content out there, people that have made it, that actually document their day to day.
Right.
A big one too is what's his name? The guy Russell Brunson from
Russell
ClickFunnels.
Brunson, yeah, marketing expert too. There, yeah, he's a G. Yeah.
There's a lot of like, dude, information's out there.
Yeah,
like,
a lot of it's free nowadays.
Yeah, a lot of people like they stay stagnant to like, I don't have a mentor in person. Like, oh god, who the fuck? Like the guy online will shit on your mentor.
Right, for sure. Yeah,
like by far.
And I'd say this: the only thing that makes a difference between actually having a mentor and the information that we have access to is the accountability. Really, actually, because when you have a mentor, they might be able to call in and check in on you, right? But if you're able to keep yourself accountable, dude, it's game over. And I mean, most of the time to start, you don't have money to pay for a mentor. Yeah. So keep yourself accountable, right?
I was about to say that, like, I feel like mentorship back then was less transactional. Mentorship was back then was like, everybody was on the same page. Like, yo, you're trying to learn, you're young. Like, I got it. Like, let's see what's up.
It was a service out of value of like, hey, I want to see you win, right? Because I've won, right? So that's huge too. I mean, mentorship has gotten skewed.
It's not like that anymore.
It's more about, all right, I can mentor you, but what's in it for me?
Member, like someone close.
Right. Now, I definitely believe in paying to play as far as like,
for sure,
to get in certain rooms, to get around certain people, the cost goes up, right? Like, I think, especially here in Miami, you see so many different people, so it's like hit or miss. Sometimes you don't have to pay and you're just in the right rooms. But one cool experience for me was going to F1.
Oh, F1.
I've
heard crazy stories.
I was
from
just
F1.
like, because I'm an event guy. Like I could care less about like really cars, but like if you're telling me I got to go travel or like I got to go be in a certain, I'll pay for it, right? So F1 was super cool because I'm from California, so I'm not familiar. And F1 just got to Miami too about 2 years ago. The amount of wealth that starts to fluctuate F1 during that time in Miami specifically, right? And so they have something called the padlock at F1, which is like the most exclusive. Like they have VIP all over the place, but the padlock center is like all like athletes, you know, Elon Musk. So so at this experience, I'm kind of just meeting people, shaking hands, getting my name in front of people. On the third day, Elon Musk pulls up in a helicopter. Like stops the whole thing. Like everybody's like watching F1. Everybody's just like, what's going on? And just to see the amount of people that gravitated towards Elon, it was just insane. Like it was like Michael Jackson 30 years ago, right? But for that experience, I'm like, I kind of just watched. All right, who's kind of around him, but who's not? And then once he got to where he needed to be, I went and started to talk to, you know, and they were like, hey, tomorrow you can come in the padlock. It's gonna cost X, right? Mm-hmm. So I ended up paying X. The next day, I'm like, just LeBron James is in this center. Like, there's just a whole ton of people. Yeah. I ended up meeting actually my mentor, right? And I wouldn't say he's a mentor, but for like 6 weeks, he just helped me structure out my business.
That's super crazy, bro.
But if I didn't do that, if I wouldn't have paid to be in there that day, I would have never ever like
or talked to him.
Yeah, if I never even went up and took the risk, I would have never like, you know, I had an idea of what I wanted to do, but like you said, foundation systems, plug and play. Like if you don't have these things, you're stressed and you're overwhelmed. If you don't have a schedule, if you don't have this guy was able to give me information in 6 weeks that I now can use for 6 years, 12 years, and now I can, you know, replicate when I bring people in. Hey, these are our systems. So I like to say you do have to pay to play. Obviously, don't get scammed, but don't be afraid of like investing into yourself, right? Yeah. Like going to these, you know, Grant Cardone is famous for the 10X conference. Like
I'm going to one next month.
Literally, just like we're talking about, right? Like go get in these rooms. They're not going to be free, but if you know that the value is going to be provided there, it could change your life forever, right? Yeah. So I mean that's huge. What things have you done to pay to play?
Pay to play. I've gone to a lot of Amazon events.
Right.
A lot. I've gone to probably around 8, and all of them cost money.
Right.
There's a free one. It's not really like an event. It's called ASD. It's a trade show in Vegas.
Yeah.
I go. It's twice a year. I go every time, and I mean I have to pay for a place there. And
right. The travel.
Like, all that shit. Like I'd much rather be working on stuff.
Of course.
So I'm taking time away from my business.
Right.
But when I go there, it's always worth it. It's always. I understand the landscape of e-com because it's literally the largest trade show in the U.S.
Right.
So I get to see how different distributors, wholesalers are now marketing themselves. You get to see also a lot of third-party e-com companies with their own booths. Like you understand, like, you know, now TikTok Shop is rising. Now I saw new TikTok Shop booths. And you get to understand like their model and like what they're doing and how they're helping, and it's really good knowledge. And then also the people you meet there, because you get a bunch of e-com guys, Amazon sellers, but you also meet real entrepreneurs that have like their own brands. Like I met the guy that owns fashionweek.com. Like I met him, we became cool, and he's here in Miami. He has like one in Paris, Los Angeles. Like, so networking is just insane. A lot of people sometimes do too much networking though. That's another thing.
Yeah, like I'm a victim of that. Actually, I'll say that I'm a victim of that. Yeah, for sure. No, I mean, I'm a victim of that. Yeah.
So some people do too much networking. I like to mostly work and network. I guess just because of my model. Of course. Because I can't just like, warehouse system is in there. Like, let me go meet this guy.
Right.
What the fuck's that going to do?
No.
My warehouse is going to fall apart.
For sure. No, I'm glad that you brought that up about networking too much, because as I explained that experience at F1, helped me within what I learned within that 6 weeks was setting up a foundation to actually be able to have time for myself, right? Nice. Before this, my time was all being spent networking, and so it was 50-50, it was like 60-40. So the 40% that I was putting into my business was going nowhere, because there was no, once I would network, I had nothing to show people. So then I wouldn't say that I would say I networked for probably 6 months, because I moved to Miami January, and or November-ish, but like really fully January. So that time frame, I was just like, who can I meet? I'm in Miami, like let me go to Live, let me go try to be in VIP, or like, you know. So I spent a lot of time networking. Now the relationships I made, they've been fruitful, gladly, thank God. But at that time, it was just a concept in my mind. Like the business didn't have foundation. So there is such thing as too much networking. You have to find a happy medium of building like an MVP, a minimum viable product, and having something to go show people when you are networking, so then they can,
so true.
But if you don't have, if you're just networking saying I do this, it's good to start, but you have to go actually prove a concept that you can show someone and they can see, they can believe, they can say, hey, I can put my foot in, hey, this is the direction you need to go. But without having, if you don't even know what direction you need to go, it's hard to replicate that or show someone, hey, where do I need help? Because you're like, where do I need help? Or where do I start? You know what I'm saying?
What the fuck am I doing?
Yeah, exactly. So once you know where you're struggling, then you can go network around the people who can help you. And you can have more focused and intentional networking rather than just who can I meet today? So I love that you said sometimes you can do too much networking, because I'm a victim of that, So, but yeah, that was cool you said that. Yeah.
Sometimes I have a lot of friends that do that.
Yeah.
They're trying to just meet people, and I'm like, dude, your business is like complete garbage. Like there's no systems.
Right. There's nothing to show someone.
What the fuck's that person gonna do?
Yeah.
Like when you now. That's the mentality I had. I used to model. I used to represent Ecuador.
Yeah.
And I stopped because I'm like, the networking for modeling is so crazy.
Crazy.
I met people from around the country. So if I want to go to Germany, I know a contact there that's actually very important.
Of course.
And I could be with them, like meet his people.
Right.
International business is like super untapped. Like,
a
lot of people don't know about that.
Right. It's something that's huge.
There's a lot of arbitrage there, just from like your currency compared to theirs and like your buying power.
Right.
Like you could go in there and buy a lot of shit.
And a lot of people do that. They go overseas and come back with
I bought land in Ecuador for $5,000.
Land. Wow. And that's gonna grow over time, like, as you know, it's real estate too. But like the value of that land, someday someone can put something next to your land.
I'm building a house.
Oh, you're gonna build a house on it.
I'm building, yeah.
That's amazing.
You could build a house for like $35K.
Damn.
And not just a house, like a
mansion,
3-story
in Ecuador. Yeah.
On the beach. But yeah, it's but a lot of people, like they don't understand their business. There's not really anything set up. So with modeling for me, I first said, let me take a break and let me build some shit. Yeah. And now I have like, an Amazon community, like people that want to learn, because Amazon's international.
Right.
You don't need to be in the U.S. to sell in the U.S. market, because they're prep centers.
Of course.
You ship it to the prep center. So now that I have an Amazon community and I have a fulfillment center and I have a legitimate business, all this stuff, now when I go back to modeling next year, I could now market myself in a different way.
Of course.
Like because it's more so in the form of the modeling that I was doing. It was like competitions. Right. So you present who you are, how you look, and shit like that.
Right.
And people like fuck with that. So now when I go, they're gonna be like, okay, so this is who he is, and that helps your brand as well.
Of course.
Creates awareness, a bunch of good stuff. So.
Of course.
That's my goal now.
Can you talk about branding actually? Because
I'll figure it out myself, dude.
Right.
I'm not a good branding person.
No. But I want to talk about that actually because, like you said, you don't sell your own brand, you sell other brands, right? So, in a way, you go find Nike, who's already done a mass marketing play, and you just go sell that. You don't have to pitch anybody on buying your Nikes, right? Because they sell themselves.
Correct.
But I feel like in business, it's competitive, right? Like at the end of the day, like they could buy your Nikes. I'm not too sure how the marketplace is set up on Amazon, or how they distribute the marketing and whose stuff is showed, product placement. Can you kind of explain that, just Amazon's model, and how you guys have been able to succeed? Because, like I said, I can start today, go to Nike store, buy something on discount, go put it up right next to yours. But how do I get that real estate to be the first Nike shoe they see?
Yeah, so. And the crazy thing is, a lot of people overcomplicate this.
Yeah.
Like it's what I do is stupid simple. I just resell, and it's so simple that I don't create my own listings. So that's where a lot of people get that misconception. There's already a listing. Like if you go on Amazon, search up white Air Force size A men.
Yeah.
There's already a listing created, and that listing was created 5 years ago.
Right.
So all I do is resell listings that already sell, that already have a demand. So that listing that already has thousands of reviews, what pictures, good title, all that. I don't have to create my own listing with like pictures, titles, or anything. I just jump in on that same listing, and I sell that product. Now there's other people that are also on that listing reselling that same exact product.
Right.
For you to compete and get what's called the buy box.
Yeah.
Buy box is that buy now button. So when you go to buy something on Amazon, you don't really necessarily, most of the times, see all the people selling it.
No, you just
buy now or add to cart, whatever the fuck.
Right.
So people compete for that buy now button. For you to compete efficiently on that buy now button is two factors. the biggest ones. There's other factors, but the two factors are your pricing, how competitive you are to the next person that's priced, and then also if you're FBA or FBM. If you're FBA, you're most likely to get the buy box.
Okay.
Because 2-day shipping. If you're Prime, there's 195 million Prime members.
Right.
If you're one of them, you're gonna see 2-day shipping. You're like, oh, bet, like let me get that one. So buy now button. But if you're FBM, that doesn't mean you're not gonna get buy box. That means you just have to be priced like $2, $3 under to be able to get that buy now button.
But I'm assuming like, are you FBM or FBA?
I do both, but I'm mostly FBA.
So, but I'm like I said, like you and Max side by side. You own 100% of your business. He owns 100% of his business. You guys are selling the same product.
Some products, yeah.
Right. So, well, let's just say this is the Nike shoe.
Oh, okay, cool.
Like, what makes me different, right? Same price, same thing. What makes Amazon, you know? Because like the whole idea. I mean, Walmart's real estate, right? Like if I walk in and I see. This the first thing I see, you know, example, right? Like product placement in Walmart, it's real estate, right? So on e-commerce, it's a little bit different, but you can kind of structure that out because I don't know too much about it. Yeah.
So one thing I forgot to mention is the buy box, the buy now button rotates throughout the day. So it's not just one person the whole time. Like even someone that's priced $3 above will get also buy box.
Get an opportunity.
But it's all a percentage of how often you get the buy box. Because if you're most of the times priced competitively, most of the times FBA on that listing, you're gonna get buy box most of the times. But it rotates throughout the day.
So you might not always have it. So you could miss me, and so like I can go on there, you and Max, same listing. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to buy it right now. Let me go shop a little bit around and come back to that same product. Now it's his listing.
Yeah, now he's the one that has buy box button. It rotates, yeah. So someone can have it now, and then hours later, that person changed their pricing and now has the buy box, or didn't change their pricing, has a buy box. Now I use a software called, what's it called? Go Aura. It's a repricer.
Yeah.
So with a repricer, you can change the price on the listings using AI. So it's an
real
AI.
Time.
Yeah, it changes the price for you depending on how you want it to change the price. If you want it to compete against the other competitors competitively in a certain type of way, it'll do it. It'll change the price that way.
Yeah, no, that's actually crazy.
Because imagine if you have, real quick, like if you have 200 listings, you're not gonna go in every day like one by one.
Absolutely
pricing.
not.
You'll fucking die.
Yeah. Or you'd have someone else do it, or delegate it, but still, then the cost of that, then you have to associate. Do you pay for the software?
Yeah. It's $100 a month.
Okay, $100 a month. Yeah, which is a great investment actually. Can you talk about the investment in the actual business too, right? Because like you said, you have to go now staff. I mean, I'm sure at first it was just you, right? You took a picture of the Filas, resold them.
You don't have to take a picture.
Because you're not creating a listing. You're plugging into a listing.
Yeah, there's already a listing created.
Could you talk about actually the difference between the listing and creating your own listing and plugging into it? Like, is there a reason why I would want to go create my own listing?
Yeah, I mean, you could. It's just not that's not something I do, because the thing is, like, pretend you're shopping on Amazon and you're looking for that item you searched up, and then you're going through listings and you just created a listing,
right?
And you have your pictures, your keywords, all that. It doesn't have any reviews, so the person that's looking around, first of all, it's probably not going to be on page 1. Probably going to be on page 2, 3, or whatever.
Right, 4 or 5. And
when they see it, there's not going to be a review. Now, let's say, for some reason they still want to buy it. They go and buy it. Right. That's not going to. The volume isn't really going to be there, so you're going to have to pump ads into it.
Of course.
Into that listing. I've never bought any ads ever.
Wow.
Because all these listings already.
Sell. It's right.
They already sell.
Is there a different profit margin because of that? Because you're plugging into a listing rather than if it was your own listing?
Yeah, so I use a software called SellerAmp, and in that software, it has a built-in calculator. So in there, you're able to see how much money you're going to make after Amazon fees. So a lot of people ask me, like, what are the best products? And I'm like, they're all the best products if you find it at a certain price.
Right.
Because you're reselling it.
So I could have the same Nikes today at discount, same Nikes today full price, all that. So just depending on what you
how much you're buying it at and how much it's selling at at this exact moment.
Of course.
And then you do that research by just literally, if you find a good Amazon listing and you want to sell it, you just Google search that product, and then it takes you to a bunch of different websites that could have it. You go into those websites and then you try to find if there's any coupon codes. I use extensions like Capital One Shopping, Rakuten, Top Cashback. So these are all extensions where you could find coupon codes.
Yeah.
And then you grab whatever coupon code that it shows you, and then you plug it in, and then you try to see if it works or not. If it works, it gives you a percentage off, and then you try to see if that product is profitable, and you get to see how profitable it is using SellerAmp, the calculator in there. When you plug in that price, you get to see like your ROI, your profit margin. It already tells you how many units it sells per month. So if let's say a product sells 100 units per month, and there's 9 competitive sellers, and when I say competitive, like there could be 30 sellers, but if only 9 of them are competitive, that's what you should look at.
Right, because
the other ones are fucking priced $50 up, and like no one's ever gonna buy from them.
Right. They're trying to make too much margin.
So there's 9, you're gonna be number 10. So then you should buy around like 10 units, 8 through 12 around there, because you want to sell throughout the month.
Right.
And then that's how you make the decision. So with me, I know how much money I'm gonna make like
right away
before I buy the product.
And then is there any time that calculation? I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of times that calculation doesn't meet accuracy, right? Like I might say X, Y, and Z, and you don't get X, Y, and Z.
Yeah. So sometimes you could buy it and then price goes down because there's a lot of sellers that jump on that listing. So with my thing is I'm buying from retail stores and websites. So if anything happens, you could return that product, which is what I did at Under Armour. I ended up, I returned $14,000 worth of Under Armour products. Pain in the ass because I didn't think I would return it.
Right. But you got your money back for that.
Correct.
And did they give it to you cash
gift
or
cards.
Back in the gift cards?
Gift cards. But most people, they're not buying gift cards. They'll put it back in their credit card.
Right. That's actually pretty cool. So you're doing like a 14, 28 day, or like how does that work?
Oh, I mean, Under Armour was 60 days.
60 days. Oh, so that's actually, I mean, that's actually huge, right? For someone who's a little bit worried about the risk.
Yeah.
That protection of like, hey, if I have $5,000 in credit card financing on a net zero, right, for 12 months, I go buy a product.
You can return it.
Yeah, I honestly never thought of it like that.
You're buying as a customer.
Yeah, because you are the customer, right? Because you're just going to go resell it.
And that's for websites also.
Websites do 60 days?
Most. So some do 30 days, but so every website varies. It's all return policies.
Right. So there's a lot of risk mitigation to this. You kind of already have like a mitigation structure of
another way to mitigate is, let's say the return window passed, you can't return it, and the item you have isn't selling. Because what mostly happens, and this doesn't happen often, is the item, you're probably just gonna like either break even, or like not make as much margin as possible. Like most of the times where you're having like a challenge with that, you're not gonna lose money on the product. And if you do, you're not gonna go bankrupt. You're gonna lose like a couple dollars,
right? Because you're still gonna push the product out.
Yeah, you're still gonna sell it. Now the worst thing that could happen is that product just doesn't sell.
Right.
Like there's no volume.
Right.
Now you can liquidate that on eBay or Walmart.
So you're telling me a lot of this stuff is at loss is never 100% at loss. Maybe 40%. Like because
you would have to buy a shoe at $32 and then need to sell it at like $32.
Right.
For you to lose like.
Right.
Like when the fuck.
Yeah.
Like if you're finding something so cheap, it's never gonna be that cheap on Amazon ever.
Right. No, I mean, if you sell it for $32, you didn't really lose anything. You just at cost.
Oh, I'm tripping. So Amazon takes fees away.
Oh.
So with fees.
Yeah, of course. I'm tripping.
You would have to.
Amazon got to get their bread too, right? Yeah, they're cheddar.
And that's why there's Amazon loans.
Right.
Because they want you to keep making money because they're making money off of you.
Right.
But for you to like literally lose 100% of your money, like go negative, you would have to sell it. You buy it at 32, you sell it at like $20.
$20, right? And then plus the fees, you're making $14. But yeah, that's still like a 60% loss, not 100%. The only time it doesn't really lose is if you can't push it out the product at all.
Dude, you would have to buy a shitty ass product for you to lose like.
Right. And
really bad product.
And so, I mean, you took the pretty strategic route in just reselling products that are resellable. Now I got a mouse. I like this mouse. I want to be a competitor of this mouse. So I'm gonna go find a distributor, wholesaler. I'm gonna go buy it at wholesale, brand this Daniel's mouse. Right now, I'm gonna go create a listing on it. Now the upside for me is I'm probably getting the mouse for dirt cheap, right? Because it's I'm wholesaling, and I can sell for a lot of profits, right? Now, why do you recommend well, obviously, you know, it's already a proven concept that this is going to sell because it's a logic. But why are you against going and creating Daniel's Mouse, or what's the whole process behind that?
Oh, like creating your own brand.
Right, yeah, exactly.
So I think, I never, I myself, I tried creating a brand, completely failed.
Right.
I think businesses have different levels of difficulty.
Right.
Like you grabbing something that already sells and selling it when there's already people that are going to buy it, it's easier than you creating something that no one knows, first of all, what the fuck it is or the brand or anything, putting it into the market, and then for it to working out is like way harder.
Yeah.
So I have friends that have built their brands and it did well.
Yeah.
Most of the friends that have tried to build a brand didn't go well. I myself, I'm one of them.
Right.
So I just think that if you start off reselling, it opens the doors for you to do your own brand. Like I want to do my own brand. Now I understand how products move, the shipment, the fulfillment, how the platform works, how to price your products competitively, and you know, what a good listing looks like, how reviews are made and bad reviews, how to avoid them. Now when you have all that experience, it opens up doors to get into like a more harder, a more difficult type of business, like creating a brand.
Yeah, I like that you said that, right? You went and you did try it, didn't work out, so you did what works. Then you learned the business of how it works, when it works. Now you're going to go back to rotating into building that.
For sure.
Yeah,
and that
huge.
helps with your confidence because starting a business and failing, it's not easy. Like it hits you. It's like, fuck, I tried so hard and I lost all my money.
There's a lot of time, resources, and money that you have to put into a business. So if it doesn't work, you're at loss.
You're like, fuck.
Yeah.
So that happened. And then you just feel like a complete failure for whatever time.
Right.
But then when you do something that works, it puts you in that mindset like, okay, I know how to do this. It's just I wasn't doing it the right way. It wasn't the business. It was me.
Right.
I was unexperienced, unknowledgeable. So now you're coming in with a different game plan, different mindset. Now it's probably going to work. Hopefully.
Right.
If not,
try again.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work first time, you gotta try again.
Keep going.
What habits, outside of like obviously what you're doing to create the systems, but like personal life is a huge thing. You know, I feel like alignment, like you said, you don't have to be the guy that wakes up at 5 a.m., reads for an hour, cold shower, cold plunge, you know, goes to bed at 10, wakes up at 4 a.m. the next day. But I mean, I personally believe there is some core habits and disciplines that you have to have to succeed over a long period of time. Yeah. Right. So what would those non-negotiables be for you? Right.
Non-negotiables. I think at the moment I don't have any.
You don't have any direct things that you think for you are like some things that like one have helped you get. Obviously, there's probably plenty of things that have helped you get to where you want to be. Yeah. But there's certain habits in those habits that you have to repeat over time to sustain. You know, X, Y, and Z. You don't.
Yeah. I think for me is like I'm pretty sure there's habits, but maybe it's not good. I just don't have like a set schedule. I mean, what I've noticed is like if I don't work out X amount of times per week, then my energy is going to be lower. When I'm working out almost every day, I have more energy, but then I have less time, you know, to work on my stuff.
Yeah, this is true.
But then there's workarounds, like you could work out while there's some things that you could do while you're working out. I've held Zoom meetings while working out.
Yeah.
So I think working out is definitely for sure one of them. I think what I've noticed is like every 2.5 weeks, I should take around like almost half a day by time, just like literally like doing whatever, like going out,
chill,
walking,
break,
like
little just like mindfulness thing. Like let me get away from my business so I can come back.
Yeah, I mean that stuff is really good actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, whenever, like I was just at a festival. 3 points.
Oh, 3 points, yeah.
I was
crazy.
at 3 points.
It was in the rain and all that?
No. It was only went for one day. Okay. It was one day, and then the next day I went out again.
Yeah.
But then I came back, like, the day after. I was like, all right, bro, I'm ready to, like, crush this whole week. Yeah. Like, I'm going to fucking build a humongous fat-ass business that's going to generate generational wealth.
Billion dollars, right?
Yeah. Like, when you do that, those breaks, like, they put you back in the right mindset. But a lot of people don't have that control. A lot of people go out and they're like, oh, it's just fun. Like, I'm going to do this the next day and the next day.
Right.
So, yeah, I'd say, like, those are some habits. Give me some time, gym. One thing I've noticed is, like, I'm a very doing person. Like, I like taking action and building and creating something.
Right.
But there comes a time where I'm like, oh, shit, like, there's some stuff here that I'm missing. Yeah. You have to take a step back and, like, educate yourself. So sometimes I do that where I'm, like, building. I come to like a halt. I'm like, okay, I need to learn.
Right.
And if it becomes too hard to learn, then I need to find someone like I could pay to learn that, because that's part of what I need to keep doing to keep going.
To scale and stuff.
So a lot of people don't notice that too. They just want to keep doing. They ignore like the actual learning part. And then there's someone that takes a week to learn, doesn't do anything, and then the next week, whatever he applies, just like the output of that is way bigger than the other person's output because of what they know.
Of course, knowledge, of course.
Uh-huh.
Now you said something about like taking breaks. Now, I'm a big believer that like, you know, you do have to take like those times off. But as you know, when you're building a business, sometimes like the day off might actually set you back, because like whether you're behind or whether like, for example, you're building a warehouse, you're scaling your thing, like there's not really time to take off. As much as you need it, as much as the burnout could be avoided by taking the time off, sometimes that time off is like, I mean, I've been in times in my business where like, as burnt out as I am, there's just no room for me to actually like unplug, because if I unplug, something crumbles, someone needs me. You know, you get what I'm saying? So how have you approached those situations? Because I know for me, those are times where like I start to get overwhelmed, and I do have to just slam the door and say, all right, I'll be back in 24 hours. But then I come back and it's a bigger mess than I left it, you know? So yeah, if you want to go into that.
Situations where you have to keep going no matter.
Yeah, like I mean, I'm sure like within that warehouse, like opening up a warehouse, right? Having to go get contractors, having to go get employees. I mean, was there a day off for you during that? I mean, I don't know. So you tell me.
Yeah. One word: Adderall.
Yo, hey, seriously. That's the secret. Yo.
Adderall. It'll keep you going.
Yeah, for sure. Like
no, but there's times where like I know I have to keep going. Like I'm talking about not sleep.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about like
for sure.
Like not sleep.
Them founders know what he's talking about. Like them guys in the trenches know what he's talking about.
You go. I call it emergency Adderall.
Yeah.
So I always keep a couple.
Okay.
And then when I'm like, all right, there's no way. Plug it in. So I've gone one time 3 days without sleeping.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So this was a mix of this was Prime Day.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You can't sleep. You can't sleep during those days.
And God knows why we were FBMing on Prime Day.
Are you crazy?
Yeah.
Because the volume of orders are probably insane during Prime Day.
Yeah. My Max did $83,000 in sales in one day. And then the day before he did 32,000. My first day I did 24,000. Second day I did like 46,000. And we only had one picker packer.
Wow. You did. So between the two, you guys did almost $200,000 in about 48 hours. Almost.
I think more.
Wow.
Yeah. No, so we didn't think it would be that big.
Right. You're like Prime Day. We're about to make some money.
We're about
They didn't know. Sick.
Nah, bro.
That's a sweet surprise though.
It was really bad because. So we're out in a town called Milford, New Hampshire, and it's a very small town. So USPS there isn't really like, you have a humongous hub and like all this.
Right, like Amazon, big,
like Miami, you have that, but over there you don't. So we filled up the USPS trucks that came. We had to put it in our own truck and then drive to a facility, come back, pick up, drive again to like back. We did a couple of trips.
That same day.
Yeah,
because you have to push out the orders how quick.
So that's another thing. So we had 0-day handling time at 11:30 p.m. So any orders that were made before 11:30 p.m., which is pretty much the whole fucking day, they have to be
out to the UPS.
They have to be confirmed on Amazon by 3 a.m. So you have around 3 hours to confirm all the orders, and we have a virtual assistant who's able to go in there and then understand like how much it weighs and all that, create the shipments.
Right.
But then it's the prepping process. Process, it was a lot of clothing, so a lot of poly bags. We ran out of poly bags, which was that was red. What's it called? Code red.
Right.
When we ran out of poly bags, because then we had to use boxes. So not only did that hurt our margins, because boxes cost more than poly bags.
Right.
Poly bags are around like 6 cents.
Yeah.
Boxes like 30 to 40 cents.
It's huge.
But the time.
Yeah.
Because you have to put it in a box and you have to
pack the box, wrap the
box.
All that.
When that happened, I'm like, oh yeah, no.
It was just the two of you.
We're not gonna sleep.
It was just the two of you and the prep filler.
So we had two other guys there that have their own Amazon stores. They were helping us.
Because
so thank God, because if not, we wouldn't have made it. And then the picker packer as well, and then none of us slept.
yeah,
Picker packer, he literally stayed up with us all night one day.
right.
We paid him overtime.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, no, most employees aren't gonna do that.
Yeah, no, it was good.
They're like, bro, I'm dipping.
As an employee, like you're literally waiting for that clock out, right? Like it's just like, so I mean, I'm glad he was in the trenches with y'all. So you guys did about 200,000 in sales. You guys weren't prepared, but what lesson did that teach you guys? You know,
And be prepared.
Right.
Like next time you think you're gonna do a lot of volume, have the infrastructure in place, such as like employees and supplies.
Yeah.
And then also systems, because now we have we use a software called Ship Hero, and then that's our warehouse management system. So we know at any given time where any product is inside our warehouse, like what shelf, what location, all that.
Right.
So we could go in there and scan it and pick it up, like super fast. We didn't have that. We had box to the left, bunch of the same stuff. We had to like break our bags, go in there, like picking it up, and bringing it back one by one. So that took a lot of time.
And there wasn't even any calculation of how much was.
Yeah, no, we made errors. We made some errors.
Yeah.
And then when you make an error on Amazon, you get A to Z complaints. So we got a couple A to Z complaints from that too. That messed up. So it wasn't just like we made a lot of money. Our margins were lower because of, we ran out of poly bags and we made A to Z complaint mistakes.
Yeah.
So
whoop-de-doo,
but like we could have made more money on our. We still made a lot of money.
Right. But then it, like you said, those minor mistakes or minor fixes could have generated X more, right?
Yeah.
No, that's huge. Now, we've talked a lot about systems and processes, and you just mentioned the word infrastructure, which I think, that's literally the most valuable part of your business is your infrastructure, because then that allows you to see how mobile you can get, how loose you can get, because if everything's in place, it's like that hurricane comes, the infrastructure's in place and it's not going to fall over.
Oh, for sure.
Now, how much software have you guys invested into as a business? You talked a lot about employees and some of the other things that you've done, but software, how much software have you guys invested into your business?
So, just Ship Hero alone is $2,200 a month.
$2,200 a month.
Just Ship Hero alone. We're probably spending around $3,000 a month on softwares. Probably more. Probably like 3.2.
Any CRMs, or you guys just tap in right into whatever platform you're using?
So for CRMs, we don't need one for our Amazon or Prep Center, but for our coaching, we use Go High Level. That's like $200 a month or $100 a month.
Yeah.
But Amazon's very software centric.
Yeah, it's
very
Amazon. AMS. They have probably some of the most advanced their software. I
used to sell AWS.
For this SIA. You do, right?
I used to sell that.
Yeah. So they have like some. They are the software for the CIA actually, AWS. Yeah, no, they are. So that's what's even crazier.
I didn't know that.
Off topic, like all the consumer. The thing about Amazon, it's all about consumer behavior, and they were the first people to make data behind this, right? So they were able to see how long you were scrolling, what things attracted you, and then they resold the data to other Fortune 500 companies, which I don't know how ethical it actually is, because at the time, like you're talking about 05, 06, 07. But that's a lot of the reason Amazon wasn't in profit for a long time, because they were too busy, one, obviously providing value at a low cost, but two, tracking data. Because data is everything. Like you can now look back at your business and see the year and then track the data to then see where you guys could go, because you know what's worked, what hasn't. So you have to know your KPIs, your numbers, all that. A lot of startups don't, right? A lot of entrepreneurs think that, hey, like for sales, for example, it's just basic. A lot of salespeople will go out there and just talk, right? But if you're not tracking how many sales calls you made, how many people picked up, how many conversions, where the conversations went wrong, you're hurting yourself, because you can maximize your input by knowing, the data behind your input, right? So, so speaking about that software and stuff like that, you'd say it helped you guys scale or whatnot.
Yeah. So if it wasn't for like the repressor I was telling you about, that alone, like we wouldn't be able to do Amazon the way we do it at all.
Right. Oh yeah, because you even said like some of the software you use to scan, see how much.
Yeah. So that's what helps us like be able to pump out at full capacity 15,000 units a day because of the Ship Hero warehouse management system.
Right.
But also our platform where Prep Center clients could come in and give us their products that they're sending us, because I was using Google Sheets,
right?
But I created a fuck ton of formulas.
Like a bunch. Yeah, I bet.
It was working to some pace, but then we decided it's like at scale wouldn't work because if any units that they send us that there's issues with it, then we would have to manually email them like one by one and like write down there like on notes like, yo, this shit is fucked.
Yeah.
Like no, so we ended up finding a software for that you know they could put in all their information of the products they're sending us and then how we would be able to like you know reach out to them. So softwares, a lot of people. I'm so glad that I worked at a software company because I understood like the potential and like how necessary it is in a business.
Of course.
There's a lot of people, at least in my type of industry, like I do fulfillment centers, prep centers. That's a humongously old traditional business, which is a good. That's why I like it a lot because I have an edge in the market. I understand softwares, I understand like innovation, so I could come in. Like I'm even gonna work on an app for our prep center. So someone could just, you know, everyone uses their phone. They could go on their phone, sign up, and then boom, it connects to their Discord. So I'm doing a lot of partnerships with a lot of e-commerce groups. Everyone has Discord. So I could just plug like as an extension into their Discord. Like I'm the fulfillment center. Like what's up, guys? Like whatever. No one's doing that. Everyone's using Google Sheets and just having like this shitty ass website. I'm gonna have my website as like in a funnel in a way. So like fulfillment centers, when you search one up, it says like 3PL, we fulfill, and like warehousing, like a bunch of boring shit. Like ours is focus on growing your e-commerce store or brand, and we will take care of all your prepping and shipping for you, which is what people care about. Like, you don't want to have to do it yourself. I'm gonna put a VSL video there of like someone like pretty much having a like his whole living room full of products, and then us saying like fuck that, like use our prep center. No one's doing that. Everyone has like a shitty, boring picture of like a warehouse. So getting creative and being different. So that's how you succeed. You have an edge in the market, and you just fucking take advantage. But you crush your competition. Always.
Now, dude, that was a great conversation. Just before we wrap up, what challenges do you foresee? Because we all have to know that like life isn't like it's a roller coaster. Up and down. Business is up and down. So one thing that I tell everybody is you have to be expecting the failures, right? So after you get through one and you start to win, you have to be looking out for that next loss, right? To prepare yourself. You know, you might not know what category the hurricane's coming, but you know it's coming, right? So, you know, you go ahead, you're either evacuating or you're building the sandbags. Now, how do you protect yourself and what things do you plan out to protect yourself from some of the major challenges that could come within the business?
I think one that's overlooked is cybersecurity. Like we're gonna be handling like a lot. I thank God that I come from software because
that's a sleeper. That was a good one,
dude. Like the amount of businesses that get hacked, ransomware attacks, all that shit, it's insane. Like I've seen businesses go down left and right at the company I worked at because they got a small phishing email, a fake email,
and someone clicked
it. And they're like, oh wow, I'm gonna put my credit card. I forgot to pay this bill. Like no, dude, they just took over your information and you're fucked. You have no access to your whole business if you don't pay them $50,000. Do you have $50,000? No, you don't.
So
goodbye to your business.
Wow.
So, cybersecurity. Huge. Because we're now dealing with a lot of clients. I'm gonna start looking into ways to train our employees. Like, yo, don't click on these links, like shit like that. Another thing is Q4. This is where people pump the most, like e-commerce. You know, you make the most in e-com. So a lot of people that we're onboarding, they're gonna do a lot of large shipments. So I have to make sure that our infrastructure, our employees. Are going to be good, and if we need to hire, you know, we're partnered with a staffing agency.
Seasonal hires.
Seasonal hires coming in when needed as demand volume. Because I know the volume that's going to happen this 2-3 months isn't going to be the same as March. Like, it's probably going to go down a little bit. So I would say that's the most, to be honest.
Dude, that's the perfect answer. You explained it too right away with one, cybersecurity. Your business is ran online. So if you're not equipped and you're not thinking about that, you might not have ever been hacked, but you have to know that it's a possibility and put your infrastructure to protect that. And then two,
that's how the pipeline happened.
Literally.
The oil pipeline.
Because it got hacked, right?
Someone sent an email, and then the guy replied with his information.
Yeah, that's crazy. And that was like
as small as an email. Like an email, bro.
Just a link. No, and then you also mentioned Q4. You understand that the volume that's about to be done this next 3 months might be more than a capacity that you guys are currently handling. So getting ready to funnel that. Those are two major things that I think That was a great response to my
Yeah,
question,
like
right?
cybersecurity, bro.
Yeah, dude, cybersecurity is great. I know an apartment building that didn't have their cybersecurity like set up.
Mhm.
This hacker hacks the apartment building, and so the way this unit, it was a luxury unit, right? So when you press the elevator, it goes up to your whole apartment, like 5th floor, boom, walking straight to your apartment. It's not like you go knock on doors. So this hacker shut down their whole was operating their whole technology systems from their end. So now, in order for them to, they requested money for them to give them back,
Wow.
But this is a luxury apartment.
Yeah.
You have people who paid tons of money to be here. Your brand's on the line, so they had to act. They actually paid the ransom, right? Because if I come into your unit and I press 7, the 7th floor, I'm going straight into. So the liability is a lot more than just my elevators being down.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, I can literally go in there, and who knows if this was a planned robbery or something like that. So something as big as a luxury apartment can get it wrong. Anybody can get it wrong.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
The biggest one is data.
Data,
So like,
right?
it's someone holding your whole business's data and like access to your business.
Right.
Those are the biggest ones I've seen because you can't log in. Everything's shut. Like there's actual malware in your computer.
Right.
So you can't log in. You can't fulfill orders. You can't tell your customers that you're hacked.
Right.
Then
Your customers might be at risk as well because their information is leaked.
Yes.
And yeah.
People oversee that, bro.
Yeah,
They go
yeah.
down.
And then just recently here in Miami, we had that big $250 million crypto scam. Right.
Oh yeah.
My boy Malone.
Malone.
Yo, my boy Malone.
Shout out to Malone.
Yeah, shout out to Malone. That's crazy that you were able to pull because he stole it from one. It was a client, but it wasn't just a client. It was more like a business because nobody
That's
just has
insane,
$250 million.
That's insane.
And he was 20 years old. So to pull away, it's like going to like this Wall Street and robbing Wall Street, right?
Yeah.
You just don't do it, and he did it.
$250 million.
Yeah, $250,000. That's $250 million.
Yeah.
Actually, it was, which is insane. How do you feel about that? Like some 20-year-old was able to come in,
I think they should like keep him in prison for a little bit and then use him for the U.S.
utilize him.
Yeah,
Like,
that's usually what happens.
have you watched the Zuckerberg, the movie, The Social Network on Mark Zuckerberg? Yeah. You know how he had like hacked the whole school or whatever, Stanford.
Yeah, they use him.
Yeah, and they were like, you know what? Like,
Yeah.
he's like, it's not my fault.
That happens all the time in the U.S.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, just World War II, Nazis.
Yeah.
All the scientists that like only one guy got killed for what he did. Everyone else got taken to the U.S. and they
And
worked
he
for the
got
U.S.
helped. Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, and build the same technology that you're using over there.
Mm-hmm.
Right on. Well, yo, Nick, that was a great conversation. I honestly feel if I was a rookie in e-com, which I am, that I can literally now like understand the processes and systems needed to go. So we thank you for that valuable information on your knowledge on the industry. You're very knowledgeable as well. So we appreciate that.
I appreciate it.
Any last words you have to say?
I would say just focus on what you want to do. Make sure it makes you happy. Be in the room of other people that are doing the same thing, and don't get persuaded and shown by others that in entrepreneurship you don't really have to work a lot. You work 99% of the time when you're growing.
Yeah, that's huge. Growth is huge. Put the work in. We'll catch y'all later.